Were you the girl that just couldn't stop daydreaming about how cute you would look with your baby bump at the gym? Or maybe you were banking on working every last second up until baby was born to make sure that you had enough PTO to make it through your maternity leave. And then, bam, your doctor puts you on bed rest or activity restrictions and you are just totally bummed out. Well, my name is Nicole. I'm a physical therapist and a mama, and I am here today to give you some tips and tricks for you to take back control of your birth story, even if it does include bed rest or activity restrictions. So first things first, we actually want to talk about what is meant when you're given bed rest orders. The thing is, this looks different for every physician and every OBGYN, every midwife. They all have a different idea and reason for why they put you on bed rest. And so you really want to clarify with them, what are your activity restrictions? Some people are okay to stay at home as long as they avoid strenuous activities, chores, workouts, lifting, things like that. Other people are actually have to stay at the hospital, bed with the feet elevated 15 degrees, and you can sit up on your elbow to eat meals, and that's really the most activity that you're going to get during your day. Obviously, this is a big range, and so you want to clarify with your doctor what's okay, what's not, and what are the red flags that are going to let you know that you've gone and done too much. Because you don't want to overdo it and end up stuck in the hospital because you didn't know or follow your restrictions correctly. So that's the first thing. The second thing is just a few tips on ways to make coping with this new restriction and bed rest a little bit easier. So the first thing that you want to do is create some kind of a routine to your day. So especially when you are stuck in bed or stuck at the hospital, it really is good to have the lights on and the windows open during the day and closed and try to sleep at night. Same thing with in the morning, do your journaling or do your little bit of work from home, work from wherever you are. Or maybe, you just have your meals at regular times, you have visitors coming at more predictable times. Just try to create some kind of a routine so that it doesn't just turn into one long, massive period of time and you don't really know day and night, and it's just going to make things a little more difficult. So try to avoid that if possible. Number 2, wherever you are, home or at the hospital, create a nest for yourself. In that nest, you want to include things that you're going to use regularly during the day. Having drinks to stay hydrated and food that is going to keep you nourished, and the things that your cell phone or your computer or puzzles that you're going to do, whatever, just a few things, because let's face it, we've lost a ton of independence if we've been put on bed rest. And the last thing you want to have to do is, I need this, I need that, and feel like you always have to rely on other people. So while it's great to have this support system, having your nest set up so that you can get a few of those necessities on your own throughout the day, it's just going to make you feel a little bit more in control of your situation. The third thing is that I know that this is extremely stressful emotionally, physically, mentally, financially. So if you are starting to have feelings of depression or, just you've lost your pizzazz, you're having a ton of anxiety, things just don't feel right. If you're in the hospital, there's definitely social workers on staff that can help point you in the right direction for resources that can be helpful for you. And if you're at home, check into with your employer or your partner's employer, because a lot of times they offer free counseling, and this would be a perfect time to utilize those resources. And so they can help point you in the right direction and give you some good coping mechanisms for this new stress that you're under. So now that we've talked about that, let's go ahead and move on to the physical things that we can do, positioning and exercise-wise, to keep your body functioning as best that we can, even with this new restriction. So there's 5 things I want to talk about here. Number 1, what is the position of your neck in? You want to try to keep it in a neutral position as much as possible. So a pillow that's going to support your neck, not always leaning to one side, but keeping your neck moving and in good alignment whenever possible. Number 2, think about Think about pillows under your knees if you're in a supine position. That can alleviate a little bit of back pain just by putting a pillow under both your knees. And if you're in a side lying position, a pillow between your knees is super helpful because it not only keeps your knees from rubbing together, but also it keeps the alignment of your pelvis so that you're not going in with your femur bones, but that you're out, and it's just a nice alignment and gonna hopefully decrease pelvic pain for you. The third thing that we want to think about is, where are your electronics? So if you are doing some work or even using your computer for leisure, if you're resting it on your belly, you want to be super careful about this because laptops do tend to get pretty hot, and obviously we don't want to cook baby in there. So just be mindful of that. Maybe you can have a pillow as a barrier or set up a table. The other thing is thinking about the position of your wrists. You don't want, like this all the time. We are at risk for carpal tunnel as pregnant mamas. And so anything that you can do to keep your wrists in a nice neutral position is going to be helpful to prevent further complications from carpal tunnel. The next thing that you do have a little bit of control over is how your room is set up. So think about where your TV is, where your visitors are hanging out. Are you constantly looking up or to the side? Because those positions for prolonged periods aren't really going to be good for your body. So maybe you can turn your bed or the couch or ask your visitors to move to a different position, rearrange your room, your living room for a short period of time, just to try to make sure that you're not going to be in positions for long periods of time that are going to increase pain for you. And then the fifth and final thing, and this is where I think physical therapists really have a ton to offer, is once we know what your restrictions are, there's actually a lot of different exercises for strengthening and range of motion that we can give you, no matter if you're in stuck in a side lying position or laying in bed, or maybe you're free to sit up on the edge of the bed. Whatever that looks like, we can help give you some exercises that you could do. And this might also help to create some routine to your day. If you're like, okay, every morning at 10 o'clock, I'm going to run through 5 exercises. We want to keep you strong. We know after baby comes, there's a lot of physical demands on your body, and we want you to go into that in the best pace possible. So, who knows? Maybe I'll have a video in the future about different exercises, but definitely talk to your physician about what exercises they're okay with, and maybe there's a physical therapist in the hospital if you're there, or that could come to your home if you're in your home and give you a few ideas on how to get yourself moving while you're stuck on bed rest. So again, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you liked what you saw and you want to see more of it. I'm hoping to have lots of content just like this with tips and tricks for making it through pregnancy and postpartum. Hit the bell for notifications so you're the first to know about new videos that are coming out. Thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Thumbs down if you really didn't. And in the comments below, today I would love to see what is your must-have if you had to set up a nest. What could you just not live without? So thanks again, and we'll see y'all next time.